Hey guys, Feather here, your resident Songs of War spin-off co-director and lead character designer. Today I'm finally showing you guys an updated Ardoni skin tutorial. The original director of Songs of War made tutorials utilizing programs like Novaskin and GIMP, and while those programs are great in their own regard, I have always found it frustrating when I don't have everything I need for a simple project, such as Minecraft skin making, in one place. Those videos have unfortunately been taken down from their original uploads and, quite frankly, have grown outdated, which leads us to explore the wonderful world of Blockbench today. I still encourage giving the re-uploads a watch if you want more insight to old lore that I may miss in this video, but you will notice that the process is quite different here and, I hope, much easier to follow. First things first, we need to download a few things. First is the Ardoni skin template folder in the video description, and second is Blockbench. For Blockbench, all you need to do is go to blockbench.net/downloads and follow the instructions. Because there are so many tutorials on how to set up the app already, I'm going to skip ahead and only focus on what's relevant to this tutorial. After you have both those files downloaded, go ahead and open up Blockbench. I will be utilizing one plugin today called Color Gradient Generator. To find and install it, go to File, Plugins, search up Color, and then install it using the little plus button that appears on the right side of the screen. If you want to change your background theme to match mine, go to File, Preferences, the Theme tab, and set it to Blob. And lastly, if you want to match any keybinds I might mention, be sure to set your keyboard layout to the Blender key map. With that all out of the way, go ahead and open up the Ardoni template file. You'll notice there's a slim version of this, but Ardoni typically do not have slim arms, as they are a slightly bulkier species. I know a lot of you, myself included, prefer playing the game with slim arms, however, so those templates are there if you want them. Tangent aside, let's open the Ardoni template.bb model file. Now, there are 4 elements I like to consider when it comes to creating a new Ardoni. Their gender, age, clan, and heritage. When it comes to gender, male and female Ardoni have some slightly different features. Male Ardoni tend to be darker, with 1 glowing pixel on the front face of their horns, whereas female Ardoni tend to be lighter and have 3 glowing pixels on their front face. These traits are reflected in the templates already provided, as well as some texture examples of male versus female horns and eyes. As for age, the older an Ardoni is, the longer their horns grow and the darker their skin gets. I've added some references to my project as visual aids. If you don't see these, don't fret! Right-click on the background, press Open Reference Image, and grab them from the folder you just downloaded, and resize and adjust however you like. For this project, I went with the senior Ardoni, which leads to the next step. Choosing a clan. The color of an Ardoni's skin and their markings is reflective of their clan. The little chart to the left here is a visual example of the hue ranges the clans fall into. Nestoris range from yellow to gold, Kaltaris from deep greens to almost yellow, Sindaris between deep and light blues, Mendoris between lavender to purple, and Voltaris from rose red to deep red oranges. The first thing we are going to do from here is change the color and value of the base template to match a clan. I chose to go Kaltaris for this example since they haven't gotten much love in the series yet. Duplicate the skin template, right-click the texture, go to the Edit tab, and then adjust saturation and hue. Play with the values here until they feel right. I recommend keeping the skin fairly unsaturated. You want just enough color to help the markings pop, but not enough to make the Ardoni look like a walking crayon. Since this Ardoni is old, I also darkened his skin by sliding the brightness value down just a little. And since every Ardoni is not exactly the same, I also went and played with the skin's contrast a tiny bit. It's the same process as before, but instead of choosing the Hue tab, click on the Adjust Brightness and Contrast option. It doesn't take much to make details pop, so be careful not to overdo it. Once you're happy with your base skin, it's time to choose what direction you want to take your Ardoni's markings. What makes every Ardoni unique from each other is their markings, more than even their names. Markings help identify an individual's origins and familial ties. In fact, you can usually tell which Ardoni are siblings because their markings will be almost identical. Their patterns are inherited from their parents at varying degrees. Sometimes the mother's pattern is dominant and sometimes the father's is, but in most cases, children will have a mix of their parents' markings, with one showing up more prominently. Which leads us to the topic of heritage. In the top left corner, I have provided a chart of marking patterns that are generally seen throughout the show. Ardoni patterns tend to be very geometrical, with little to no blobs of color. The top row of the chart shows the basic shapes that are most often used in Ardoni markings, and the rows below that are examples of how they are iterated upon to make interesting patterns. Marking pixels almost always touch edge to edge and almost never corner to corner, though I have included a few examples of the latter in the 9th column. I tend to approach a new Ardoni skin by choosing 2 shapes to work with, sometimes 3. For the case of this Kaltaris, I went with a mixture of stripes and bubbles. To get started on your markings, create a new layer and make sure it is ordered below your adjusted skin template. Blockbench prioritizes layers from bottom to top. Be sure to paint your pattern outline in a bold color that contrasts the clan you're going for. This will make your life easier later. Since red is the opposite of green, I use that to mark out my Ardoni's patterns on this new layer. I am so sorry, my colorblind friends. From there, it's all about messing around and playing with the pattern until you're happy. Note that most Ardoni are not going to have markings covering their whole body. Too many glowing pixels can get overwhelming from a visual standpoint quite fast. Spread them out and let the patterns pop. Some Ardoni have almost symmetrical markings, while others have them offset more to one side of their body. If you want to mess with symmetry, use the mirror painting tool up in the top left of your toolbar. I wanted the bulk of this guy's markings to lean to his right, so I didn't really use the mirror tool at any point save for when I painted his horn glow. Be sure to do that! It's one of the easiest things to forget since the skin overlay will be toggled off most of the time you're working on an Ardoni skin. Once you're satisfied with your pattern layout, right-click your markings layer, click the Adjust Opacity tab, and turn it down to around 50%. Following that, merge it onto your texture template above. Now obviously red is not the color I wanted my Ardoni to be, but it helps me see the different shades the Ardoni skin already has. In fact, I can now separate out the markings from the gray using the plugin we installed earlier. That's why I didn't use plain white for painting them, as it's much harder to see. Go to your selection tool, change its mode from rectangle to same color, and then select all the glow pixels by clicking with your mouse and holding Shift to add to the selection. If you make a selection you didn't mean to, don't worry, you can use Control to subtract from that selection. Once you have all the marking pixels selected, go to the right side of your screen, and under the Palette tab, click the Generate Palette icon. Change the merge threshold to 0 and check the box that says Selection Only. Now you have all those colors ordered from darkest to lightest. Deselect the markings in the 2D editor by pressing Escape, and then to make life easier, add the marking color palette somewhere out of the way on the 2D image. There are a few ways to pick out the base hue for your skin. You can pick one at random from the range I provided, or adventure through the color wheel on your own. Once you have the color chosen, go to the palette bar again and select Generate Gradient Palette. There's a few different settings I tend to stick to here. I usually have my color count set to 32, so I have a wide variety of options, and I set my hue shifting angle to somewhere between positive and negative 35. That angle dictates how one color bleeds into another. For example, if I want my Kaltaris' markings to get a little yellow, I'll want to set my angle towards the negative side. Or if I want them to be a little blue, I'll do the opposite. I do not recommend going over a value of 35, as it can become questionable which clan your Ardoni belongs to. I usually have my brightness range set to about 0.7 or 0.8 because I don't want total blacks to be present on my palette, since Ardoni markings turn black when they're dead. And I usually leave color offset as a value of 0 or below because I don't want my brighter markings to be totally white. It messes with which side of tinting your gradient leans to, so negative numbers will go darker and positive numbers will go lighter. I use the bucket tool with its mode set to colors to change the same pixel colors all at the same time in the 2D editor. I recommend skipping every few colors on the generated gradient so that your Ardoni has a balanced level of contrast to their markings. Once I have that wide palette to reference, I start changing the marking pixels to the appropriate colors by first choosing either the lightest or darkest value I want to see on my Ardoni. In this case I started with lighter, but later backtracked because I didn't like that direction. Once you have all the colors changed, it's up to you to mess with the markings until you're happy with them. I try to avoid long strings of pixels that are the exact same, and those usually happen on the chest area or the insides of the skin. I will also often double check references of old skins at this stage. I pulled Zaven's, the Great War Kaltaris Master's file here to check that my markings were not overly saturated by comparison. Ardoni markings tend to hang around mid to 3/4 overall saturation, especially with darker colors, so it's very easy to accidentally push that saturation all the way up, but that tends to make them far too vibrant in Blender. In this case, I tried messing with the colors and saturation a bit and found that they were fine for the most part. What I was missing was darker colors on the front of my Ardoni skin. Once I changed those, this skin felt much more complete. After the markings are done, I add the shading overlay to the skin. This adds texture to our Ardoni and can help them feel more aged, but there's a bit of a back and forth process to this, so hang tight. First, duplicate the shading layer, move it below your skin, right-click it, go to Edit, and select Adjust Opacity. Mess with the opacity until you're satisfied. Male or older Ardoni tend to have a much darker shading layer than younger or female Ardoni. I've also included a female-specific shading overlay if you want to better avoid the gals looking like they have beards. After you've done that, go back to your Ardoni layer and select all your markings again. Use Ctrl-C to copy them, or right-click and press copy on the little menu. Only after you have done that do you merge the shading layer onto the texture above. Hide or delete that shading layer, and then go back to your regular skin, go to the 2D editor, make sure you click it, and then press Ctrl-V to paste, or again, use right-click and select the paste option in the little box. This makes sure your markings are still on a limited palette, so they are easy to select if you need to again. It's all about final details from here. To add some noise and edit the skin space to be just a little different from everyone else's, I usually grab the smooth brush, set its opacity to about half, and color pick a nearby color from the skin to then go in and blend some pixels so that shading isn't as jarring, or it's just slightly different or to my preference. Now, if you are not aware, there are mods for Minecraft Java Edition that allow you to both add expression and emission to your skins. I was originally going to include how to make those work in this tutorial, but our community friend Noah Atlantis just recently posted his own video that covers it. So I'm gonna be lazy and just link that in the description. However, I will show you how to make your life a little easier in regards to skin setup for those. Male and female eyes are different sizes, which means we have to format them slightly differently from one another if you want animated eyes. I've included examples of these in the template section of the file as ardonifemale.png and ardonimale.png. Male Ardoni eyes are sized at 2x1 pixels, and the animated eye material format for that size is red off the left of our skin's head. Be sure to include the eyelid color on the top for blinking and the actual eyes just below. I made my Kaltarsa's eyes slightly different colors so you can see which side goes where. As for picking what my Ardoni's eye color should be, I usually color pick off the top corner of my Ardoni's head for the background since there's some darker pixels underneath the horns, and for pupil color I usually stick to grabbing one of the middle colors in my markings palette. For female skins, you do the exact same thing as the male, except on the right of the head. Follow the template just like I did the male one, and you should be fine. To make your life easier when it comes to setting up the glow for your skins, the bounding box for that starts right below the right side of your head overlay and is 8x8 pixels. Just move your Ardoni palette down in there, but make sure to stay within that bounding box or you will have colors that won't glow. Be sure to erase any extra old palettes in the top right, as those may conflict with the expression resource packs, and then save your skin and enjoy! Thanks for sticking with me through all of that. I do want to make more tutorials for the other Songs of War species in the future, but since a lot of those are also seeing process overhauls between expanded lore and outdated pipelines, I need more time to put those together. A lot more time. If you guys have further questions, feel free to join the Squared Academy Discord. Myself and many other helpful individuals often answer technical questions there, be it for Blender, Blockbench, or other related programs we'll cover on this channel. Thanks for watching, and happy character creating!